This episode is sponsored by the HMD Rosetta EQ. Use the code audionerds for $10 off at the helpmedevon.com store right now. Hurry. Now, on to your episode.
Shout out to any engineer that's ever worked at Quad Studios.
Quad Studios is legendary. You know,
imagine being an engineer when Pac got shot. You're like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
I'd have been tight.
Excuse me?
You know Dave Mallet, I think his name is, I forgot his whole name, Dave, but Dave that owns Osberger's, shout out my guy Jay Rose. Was you there that day he was telling us a story at Quad?
No, I wasn't there at Quad with you, but I pulled up to Quad at a different time. But
okay.
I was party hopping.
He told us the story about Quad and about how he helped to make sure it stayed. Like he talked about how it got bought and sold.
It was bad.
It was a lot going on. Shout out my guy DG Main. He's also part owner or is the manager of the penthouse above, which I never knew there was a penthouse above Quad.
I didn't know that was a part of Quad. I thought that was a different studio in itself.
Me too. Did you go to the party?
Shout out to the strip club right next door.
Did you go to the Osberger's party?
Yeah, I was party hopping, so I went at a different time than you.
Okay. Did you know that room was there?
I went up there and what's his name?
Jay Rose?
No.
Who? His homeboy?
No.
Who?
Meek's engineer Cruz was up there, and he was giving
Cruz. He was giving like a class or something.
Yeah.
I didn't know Cruz was up there.
Playing some records and all of that, and I was there for a little bit, but I just had another party I had to DJ. I ain't gonna lie, NAMM, if you doing a NAMM event, never mind, it's way past it.
Well, we don't know, but go ahead, talk about it.
Right, well, we're recording this literally right before NAMM.
Who knows?
If you're doing a NAMM event, you need a DJ. Let me know, man.
Okay, or just a bit in any
flyer.
You're kidding. You know what? I feel like we do need more events in the audio space.
No, we need more like. We have events. They're just whack events, bro. I'm not getting into another room of a bunch of staff members and executives and board members just to sip champagne and talk.
What do you mean?
Play Sexy Red at a NAMM party, and I want to see Gaurav on one side, and I want to see the owner of Apogee on the other side. Like, I want that type of environment,
if you don't leave that wonderful,
I'm kidding. She's amazing.
Shout out
Can I tell you something? So Apogee brought us to our first NAMM.
That's a fact.
And the first
they didn't bring us to our first NAMM.
They gave us passes, right? Or no, they embraced us.
They embraced us first. They were the first.
We
company
went to our first
NAMM
NAMM like Dolo, but they the first person we met at Apogee. The first person we met at Apogee was Betty.
Yes.
We walked in. She said, "Here's some masks." We were like, "Thank you so much."
No, we ain't even walked in yet. She came up to us and striked up a conversation, and we all were like, "Who is this?"
Super cool.
She was super cool, and we just started talking. But she said, "Oh, let me give you a mask," and we were like, "Oh, these masks are fire." It said Apogee on it.
And no, it was just like high quality though.
It was good.
Fire mask. At the time,
I was like, "Oh, I'm keeping this."
There was I wore that a couple of times.
Yeah, me too.
We go inside. We start chopping it up, right? And we they use this for demonstration.
Yeah, they used this for a demonstration or something. They didn't know who he was from a hole in the wall.
For the hype mic and everything. And we was just chatting, getting drinks. And he's like, the guy who was rolling with us.
Cody. Shout out Cody from Embody.
Yes.
Cody. Yeah.
Cody was rolling with us. And he was like, have you guys met the CEO? And it's her.
Bro, we were like, she the CEO of Apogee? He was like,
loved it.
We was just chopping it up. Like, how you doing? She was so nice. Loved her. She's also married to Bob Clearmountain.
Yes.
Legendary mix engineer. Didn't know. Look up Bob Clearmountain and just go
read.
and just lose your mind. So she was really nice. I feel like every time we go to NAMM, we always try to go over to Apogee because they do throw a good. They always do throw a good event.
Great parties.
Yeah,
bro. The year we went, the performer was Jacob Luttrell.
And
facts.
I never forgot.
I was in awe.
Facts.
And he performed a song that he never put out.
That's right. He was like, this ain't
I
out.
have it in my playlist. Why? Because I ripped it from YouTube.
I know.
And it was a live performance. And that song is called When Did Love Become a Dirty Word?
Bro.
I love that song.
This guy was like, I was like, oh, you wrote hits or you're just in this LA scene. I was like, you're one of those guys that are just like, I don't want to be an artist or something. Because he was OD, bro. Me and Lee was about, and Courtney was like, yo, we was trying to Google, couldn't find him. It was like, who the hell is he, bro?
Bro, talk about, that was a performance.
Yeah, that was a performance.
They killed. I was underage. I was getting Shirley Temples out the behind.
Virgin Shirley Temples, I hope.
They're called Dirty Shirleys when they have alcohol in it.
I'm about to say, I never heard of a Virgin Shirley.
Yeah, it's not called a Virgin Shirley.
Right, but the context of how you said it made it sound like you got some alcoholic beverage. I'm like, no, you
I was
didn't.
getting Shirley Temples out the behind, bro. Like, yeah, I was telling her, yo, Shirley Temple.
A bunch of Shirley
again.
Temples?
She's like, I got you. Shirley Temple me again. Like, yo, let me get a. She's like, I already know. I got you.
No
if you
one
ever see me at a party,
said that.
red drink, it's not that drink. It's that Shirley.
It's that Shirley. A Temple.
In other audio news.
My name is LJ. I use FL Studio.
That's a fact. Did I introduce the pod?
No.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Devvon Terrell. Welcome to the Audio Nerds Podcast. Podcast for audio nerds like yourself. Please make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Also, remember, one lucky person in the comments is going to get that VIP Gold Edition Rosetta EQ or compressor.
Yep.
Please leave your @name for Instagram so I can DM you and properly say you've won. So please leave your @name or else no one gets it. Also, big shout out to our paid members that keep us going and stuff like that. I hope you've been enjoying all the stuff over there in the paywall.
Yep.
And we really, really appreciate all of you. Once again, we're going to start doing for Diamond users the ability to give us voice notes that we're then going to be able to play and answer the questions. Only Diamond members are going to get access to that. That's coming soon. Can I tell you what I would like to...
Can you tell me who's on your right?
The
Left.
Ableton astronaut.
No,
Ooh.
I already introduced myself.
Oh, you got me. Oh, you called me crazy. Back George Washington.
You just
on a horse.
George Washington
On the right side of me. George Washington on a horse. I want to see... Yo, I'm just going to ask AI to make the George Washington shooting at the ops.
Busting
Anyway, I went left. I went right. To the right of me.
I'm not on your right. Oh, I am. Oh, right, left. LG.
Strong Island Public Schools.
Come on, Sachem East High School.
Bad time to name your school. Bad
FL
time.
Studio. I graduated middle of the pandemic, and guess what? My whole senior year, I ain't touched one class.
That's a fact.
Google Meets. Pause.
That's a company. But anyways, Ableton astronaut extraordinaire, your boy, Courtney Taylor. You already know. We don't be on Google Meets like that. But, we be out here. Mount Vernon
Yeah, that's the
high school graduate.
No, it's not. Don't start doing that.
It's a great intro. Mount Vernon high school graduate,
You went to Mount Vernon High School?
Where'd you
Yes,
went?
sir.
You went to Medgar.
I went to Medgar Evers.
Went to
high school.
Medgar Evers.
High School.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you went to the college, I
Not
was
the college.
I've been like, wow.
Yeah,
Shout out Medgar Evers College.
My mother
though.
went to Medgar Evers College.
Shout out Medgar
Oh,
Evers
it's your
College.
family.
No.
Now you gotta send your
Yo,
kid.
yo, to say it like it's fire.
She passed it down.
Like we all went
You
to
said
Stanford.
the family tradition.
Your mom got you into Medgar.
Yo, to say it like my mother pulled some strings to get me into. But I will say this: I did have to get strings pulled to get into the high school. The high school was really good. It was hard to
Yeah.
get to the high school. Shout out my cousin who got me into that.
The college is really good too.
Yeah.
I think I don't know nothing about it now.
I thought she was about to hate.
No, I'm not gonna hate because I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I went to Full Sail, so you know the vibe.
I went to LIU.
Do they have a music technology program?
That's the program I was in.
It was called music technology.
It was music technology, entrepreneurship, and production.
Oh wow.
MTEP. Shout out to all my MTEP gang, class of 2025. I see you.
Why? What was we talking about before I did the intro?
We was talking about what were we talking about?
Damn, what was he talking about?
Oh, Shirley Temple.
Shirley Temples.
No, Apogee. It was Apogee. Thank you. You know what I've been fiending to ask you for the past couple episodes. I've been wanting to ask you this. So, you have another persona as an artist.
Yep.
I know I've heard your music and stuff like that. You have a very
thank you for supporting, man.
Yeah, no problem. You have a very unique sound that I hear you. I don't know if you're going for this or anything like that, but the sound and volume of your drums.
Yes.
Why are you making it like that? Is that on purpose?
Absolutely.
And let me identify what I'm hearing with your
what
drums.
are you hearing?
His drums sound extremely lo-fi. Extremely. And when I say lo-fi, I mean even from a volume standpoint, they're quieter. It sounds like a 90s record. Yeah. Because modern day, my brain is like, yo, bang, 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 bang. But I was wondering, are you doing that on purpose, making them sound like that?
Absolutely, man.
They're very quiet.
They are. I'm not gonna say quiet. Maybe because you're hearing unmixed records. However, it's a boom bap infused soul sound. I'm working with Ninth Wonder a lot, and what I love about his production that I didn't want to take away from it. Literally, our whole thing is a compromise of what I love and what he loves.
Got it.
And he's had his history with Little Brother, Mary J.
Countless.
Like, even though everybody he hit the Billboard top 25 like producers of all time.
Right.
He's on that list, and yeah, everybody knows him for hip hop, but y'all don't understand when you go into his studio, he damn near got more R&B plaques than anything.
Yeah, he got a lot of R&B stuff.
Girl
Yeah.
for Destiny's Child. He did Is She the Reason? He was on Mary J's album Breakthrough album. he has a lot of R&B stuff.
Sure.
And people don't look at him for that. I love his sound on the production. I grew up on it. But I also love what I listen to, and I intake a lot of modern R&B. Lucky Day, Her, Joyce Rice, all of that. And I love our whole thing is a mesh of those two worlds.
Understood.
So I didn't want to take that away from him because I'll tell you the song that I'm always trying to beat because I have my favorite feeling of a ninth record, and say cliche, I don't care. He did a record with Drake on Drake's first mixtape, Comeback Season. It's a song called Think of Thoughts.
Okay.
Boy, that record.
You like the sound of it, the sonics of it?
Great. First of all, that beat is so hard.
Right.
I'm so mad that Drake took it into 2007. Like, I could have gotten it.
I'm talking, right, at this point.
But he killed it.
And you really
I love that sound. And Drake's not singing on it. He's rapping.
He's rapping on it.
But it's just that feeling is hard. Girl by Destiny's Child, Threat.
Yes.
Like, there's this drum. Everybody knows him for his drums. I heard him in an interview, like, he's like, bro, y'all love this damn snare. Like, people love it.
True.
I be wanting to get rid of it, but the people love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's signature.
So, his drums are very signature to him.
Right.
And I wanted to keep that for sure.
Understood.
And I'm a big believer of R&B drums at a point like lost its uniqueness.
Identity.
Because now R&B drums are trap drums.
It's trap drums. Yeah.
There's no identity to R&B drums.
But can I say something? I feel like the modern day drum sound right now is a trap drum.
But it's everything. It's not just R&B. It's reggaeton. It's
right.
Yeah.
Because I hear it in country.
Yeah.
Which is wild. When I be hearing country record, you ever hear the modern day country record and you just listen to the vibe like, oh, it's a country record. All of a sudden you hear 808, you like, yeah. And it's like,
whoa, this is new.
Can I shout out
this
this kid?
Hard.
Can I shout out this kid?
Who?
This kid, he's from Florida. No relation, but his name is Alex Cheen. And he does Christian rap. Boy, I heard him. Listen to me. I heard
Christian rap.
I heard a Kanye sample. And I'm like, it was like, oh, hey.
Right.
A drill be going, talk to God and I'm believing in faith. And everything. But he is going crazy. Shout out to you,
and
bro.
It's a Christian
I would
rap?
love to send him a pack. He's insane.
Sane? There's a few Christian, I'm not gonna lie, there's been a few Christian songs that you sent me that I was like, damn.
Lecrae and YK Osiris got this song.
Yo.
It's so hard. It's like a reference mix.
It is a reference because it's so hard. I remember the first time. I remember me and Levens and I, like, we would go to the studio when we had HMD back in the day. And we would be coming back home and we'd drive together. And I never forget, that was the first song we always put on in the whip was Lecrae and YK Osiris. It was a Christian record. But it was like,
shackles
take the shackles off my feet. Turn that John Doe down on me.
And then the drums.
Look down on me. Hey,
that's on fire.
God won't let me leave. 3, I'm the son of, hey, yo, and it's a Christian record. And I know people must have been looking at us on the side like, yo, they're wilding. I'm like,
but can I tell you, if you listen to that, you hear that mix?
It was good.
They sound like a Jason mix.
It was
no
good.
Disrespect if Jason thinks that's a trash mix, but I like it.
No. I liked it. I liked it a lot mix. Too.
He had an album with Zaytoven too.
Oh,
wow.
Who?
Lecrae, remember we played it?
Yo,
Get Back.
Lecrae be dipping.
Yeah,
he do.
You can listen if I could put on Lecrae right now, you wouldn't know that it was Christian. Like, I feel like you wouldn't know. I wouldn't know it was Christian.
That's
music.
not the first. Yeah,
that's not my first thing I listen to and stuff, like, as far as what I hear and stuff like that. I'm really the reason, well, to backtrack, the reason why I was asking him about that with his sonics and stuff like that is because I also have been like dipping into a place where I'm like, okay, I know the modern sound. I know like how to make my stuff sound modern, but now I'm starting to go back into the vault of how can I make this sound unique and stuff. So that's why I've just been employing like new techniques and stuff. And obviously, as far as like the micro shift thing that I brought up before, playing around with reverbs and delays, and why I'm embracing like a lot of different plugins because I'm looking for certain sounds that I feel like are unique and stuff like that. So I've been playing around with a bunch of stuff and stuff.
I want to say I'm using way less.
I'm using
reverbs and delays.
Reverbs
less. Really.
Okay.
Mainly nowadays, my spaces are coming from my delays.
Nice. Have you been doing the eighth note delay trick for whiff?
Not necessarily an eighth note. I know what you mean though. The slap delay effect.
Kind of that
so
sound?
I shuffle between 8th
and
16th and 32nd.
Yep.
And I'm just like, anytime it just gives me a character versus a space.
Yeah.
That's where I know I landed right.
Can I tell you something that Tizio had brought up that made me go the light bulb go on? Remember when he was explaining his doubler trick? and how he was saying that basically taking the left and right, pushing them all the way up, taking out the middle is, and adding that to the vocals, giving him a texture. It totally made me understand that, and I've been doing that to kind of alleviate a little bit of a harshness in the vocal, because it kind of adds like this texture that takes my ear away from that like 3K kind of like, you know how sometimes, you know that frequency I'm talking about, right? Where it just feels like, it's just like, oh, you're annoying, get out. Like,
and you're doing that on the vocal or the double signal?
I'm doing that on the, what?
That you're taking out that 3K.
Oh, well, the 3K, if I hear too much of the harshness in the 3K, I'll do it on the lead.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is the doubler that's adding the texture kind of helps me to mitigate that.
Oh, to mitigate that. Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because it adds a layer of texture that kind of like takes my ear off of it and stuff like that.
For sure.
I did my first mix with my minimal setup, and it was the best mix I've ever had. For sure.
On, for real?
Yep.
You know one of my favorite mixes from you?
And I did it in 40 minutes.
You know one of my favorite mixes from you?
What?
Can you hear me roar?
Yeah.
Oh, that's my shit.
Oh, that tells me.
Can I tell you the only thing?
Them snares used to be snapping.
Can I tell you the
was
only
snapping.
thing about my mixes going down my career? It's just my mastering. It's always been my thing where I'm just like, oh my God, I really hurt myself with my mastering. That's
know what it was?
always. Recently, I've felt a lot better and more confident in my masters, but that was my big issue.
tell you exactly
I
what it
used to
was.
destroy my records with masters.
You know why?
Why?
Because you was being cheap, man. Like
Yeah.
you kept getting these little $40, $50 snares. You needed $1 million snare to get your master.
Oh, I
right.
see what you did there. Shout out $1 Million Snare. I'm not even gonna shit on that, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
Bar. I'm trying to tell you, I'm
ready.
ready for the rap battle when y'all want to.
You're not.
Sure.
You're really not.
I can give you 4
Can
right
I tell you
now
the first
off
thing I'm
top.
gonna do? First thing I'm gonna do is put out the only clips of Jay packing you
Nah.
up.
First of all, Jay didn't pack me up.
She did. She packed you twice. You
Word?
packed her back, but she was packing you.
Word?
Yeah, Jay was packing you.
Now I want to battle Jay.
I know you should.
I have a round ready for whoever.
That's what's up. Jay has.
I got a round for you
Just to let
that's
you know,
gonna kill you.
Jay has. No, you don't.
Yes,
bro,
I do.
We
can do it today.
I've been holding my bars for
Can I
this
tell you
rap
something?
battle, for this audio
We
rap battle
have-
for mad long. I'm gonna kill this kid, bro.
Can I tell you
Yo, I
something?
said to you at LTI.
We have battle rap fans here, bro. We could shoot it today.
No, I'm not doing that. Bad
See,
work.
hating.
Son said, let's
Hating.
make a whole production like
No,
I'm gonna
it's
just
not.
set up. He gonna sit here
It's
while I'm
one
setting
camera.
everything up. No,
It's 2 cameras.
I'm
Max,
not doing
bro.
that. I'm not doing
You
that
ain't-
right now.
No, because you scared. If you was really confident, you would have had it.
You corny. You whack. You know why you whack? I know people like him.
I'm him.
Yeah.
I'm-
That instigate when somebody say something like you whack,
Personally,
you go, now I gotta fight.
I'm just saying.
what I'm
I'm just
saying.
saying personally, I couldn't let him talk to me like that.
I wouldn't let him do that.
That's you though. That's your that's your thing. You sure?
No, I'm good, bro. I'm cool.
word?
I like my
All
mixes,
right.
bro. I'm good. I'm
I
good on
felt
my
that, I
stuff.
felt
I'm
that.
good on my stuff. What's going on with you though, man?
Me? What's
yeah,
up?
what's up with you, bro?
I'm chilling, bro. I'm
When's
doing some good
the
stuff.
next song coming out?
Very soon.
when you gonna activate the locks?
And at the end of the year.
Look what you brought up.
At the end
We
of the
just
year.
started the year.
At the end of the year, I know.
My son said 52 weeks, bro.
52 weeks.
Yo, at the beginning of the year to say, yo, at the end of the year, I'm gonna do this is crazy.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm literally counting. I literally made the last week of December. I said, I've told people this for like 4 years now. Like every year, I'm gonna lock it up. I'm gonna count each week down and be like, you only got 52 more weeks of your hair, just the way it is regular.
Yo, can I say something?
I'ma
that
lock it
song
up.
you posted
Yeah.
is OD.
Yes.
People
but
like
you
it.
won't put it out.
That song he posted was OD. I was sitting there like, what the fuck?
There might be a good collaboration on the way that I'm gonna tell y'all behind.
Nobody
the
want to
camera.
hear no collaboration.
No.
I want you to put it out.
You're not getting it. You're See, you're shaking your
teasing.
head. You're shaking
Stop
your head.
teasing
Put it
music.
out, bro.
Okay,
For
that's
real, bro.
cool. It's
Yo,
cool. That's
he
fine.
get me so mad,
That's fine.
bro.
That's
He get me
fine.
so mad.
That's
Song,
cool.
it's done. He just got to make some tweets.
It's
whatever.
not done.
Send it to me, the master. Whatever. I don't
So,
care.
are y'all ready to not get money from your streams? I think the rule got implemented
Yo,
this year.
you see his brain? Good question, by the way. You activated something with me.
Yeah, that was
Real
good.
But
question.
that's
You're a fan of it.
I'm gonna continue to get money.
Because you're bigger.
Yeah.
So you don't care.
It's not that I
We're
don't care.
broke.
No.
Yeah, facts.
I'm broke, Jeff.
And you have the power to change
You got the
that,
power to
Dad.
change that. I can't eat. If you don't know what we refer to, we refer to
Lottery
lottery ticket
ticket.
from Bow Wow and them. Bro,
Bow out and them.
here's what
You want to do all this?
I forgot his name. No disrespect. He was
Brandon-
amazing. He was amazing. That was his moment. I was like, oh, he's out of here.
That was Brandon T. Jackson.
Brandon T. Jackson. He's the
You want
man.
to do all this stuff?
Not
You
related.
have to Christ. You don't understand.
Not related to Trevor Jackson.
Oh, facts.
I love Trevor Jackson.
Baby, I...
Broke.
What was we talking about?
We talk about not getting paid from our streams.
I'm broke.
Yo, so if I'm not mistaken, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm talking from a different perspective when it comes to the Spotify streaming stuff because I don't think I fall into the realm of not getting paid. from my streams.
Because every one of your songs hit 1,000 streams.
Absolutely. On every platform, it's going to hit over 1,000
I don't want to hear
streams.
from you because you're in the top.
Well, I think it'd be cool to chat about just for a perspective. I think it'd be kind of cool.
Perspective.
So, okay,
you gonna sound like.
No, I think I want to be honest about it, right? So obviously, it doesn't affect me. It's in my benefit, right? Which is it's unfortunate, right? Because someone is losing in this scenario. Absolutely, I totally agree. Someone is losing in this scenario. So let me just say how it benefits me. Not saying what's better or worse, but just saying, oh, this is how it benefits me, right? So every song that I record or put out, it gets over 1,000 streams. Unfortunately, that 1,000 streams only equates to about roughly under $1, right? Yep. So I get under $1 for every 1,000 streams. Okay. So what's been happening over the course of 4, 5, 6 years now is the value of my stream or my music or that one fan continuously gets diluted, right? So it gets harder to make a living off of just my intellectual property. And now I need to do more to reach a larger audience just so I can make up and supplement for that amount of people that are pretty much worthless. Not saying worthless, but you know what I mean? They're worth, one person stream is 0.0038 of a cent. Back in the day, you know what one fan was worth? $10. Whoa. You only needed if you had 10,000 fans that opted in to buy your album, bro, you were good for a year. You understand what I'm saying? That was my income. The way I used to do it was, I said, if I drop 2 albums a year, I can make about $200,000 a year, right? Wow, great. Then if I decided to tour, maybe an extra 50,000 added to my income if I toured. So my year was set. Just got to do 2 albums, a tour. My life was good. That was how I would do it. I'm really making money off of the music. What happened after streaming got introduced was the quality of the music kind of suffers a little because now I couldn't pay that producer $1,000 per beat. And he's like, hell no, I ain't going down to my prices. And I was like, well, I got to figure something else out because I'm not flipping on your beat anymore. So so all of these things were happening and people didn't realize this was happening behind closed doors. That's when you started to see the producer argument start to come up. Remember when the producer argument was coming up about getting paid?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, where's this coming from? One of the reasons it was coming up a lot was because the money was drying up. So artists were not giving...
Indie artists, specifically.
Indie artists, right. And producers started to want a higher percentage because they was like, yo, this 3% ain't hitting for nothing because we weren't making the money anymore. So why I say that to say, I'll let you go. Yeah. I say that to say, if you then look at Spotify's business model as far as the advertisement side of it and how we make money off the streams, it's basically like a pot of money, right? If I could be totally mistaken, I'm sorry if I am, but this is how it was always explained to me. There is $1 billion in that pot. That $1 billion gets divvied up amongst the streams. So if there's only $1 billion and streams are getting streamed, that price of the stream isn't going to go up because it's only $1 billion in. It's not like, oh, there's more money in here. No, they're like, we got $1 billion. Depending on how many streams get actually streamed, that's how much each one will be worth in the pie. Okay. So what happens is, let's say we have a bottom feed of about millions and millions of streams being eaten up, taking from that billion. Millions of small little streams, micro streams being taken and eaten up. And so the pie's overall pot per payout gets smaller and shrinks and shrinks. So now if they eliminate the entire bottom feed and you take, let's say, hundreds of millions of streams that people will be getting $1, $2, and you put it into the economy of only artists that get over 1,000, now the pie per chip,
the ceiling gets bigger.
The ceiling gets a lot bigger, and there's a lot more value in that artist's music
to give around.
So I totally understand. I don't know where this is headed. I'll be honest with you. Let me just be careful because I have to be careful. I don't know where it's headed, but when I thought about it from that perspective, I said, oh, I get how this would benefit me. I'm not saying that it's good or bad in that sense, but what I am saying is, finally, because I haven't heard anyone give any perspective to the other side of what it is. Just merely having a conversation. I want to be very clear. Just having a conversation.
Wozers.
Oh, you single.
Here's two, you're trying to get me in trouble. Here's 2 points that I feel like make this bad on both sides. I'm
very interested in hearing.
On my side, first of all, as a person who is not up there yet, right? But I'm relying on a few thousand streams that I get, that maybe every 6 months I could take a few $100s, maybe a band out of, right?
That's not the case.
As a producer, yes, it is, because I'm getting pieces of a bunch of different records that do not produce that much
revenue
alone, but in the pot it does. And second, your pot isn't changing. Who the hell said that your pot got bigger? So they never changed the streaming rate.
So here's my question.
Even if it does give the opportunity to, they're not going to.
So here's my question. If they're not giving the people, great point. If they're not giving the people that get over 1,000 streams more money in the stream, oh baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I'm not gonna lie. I am totally like, okay, so what are we doing here? Are we just trying to increase our bottom line? I think that should have been the first thing
they said.
I don't like that.
I feel like they have no intention to. If they do, cool, whatever. But at the same time,
that's terrible.
If I have 50 songs right now that get 900 streams each, that adds up. In a year, that adds up
to about
it adds up to enough.
What's enough?
It adds up. I'm not saying, bro, you understand that an extra 100 or an extra 200, if I could look, still
money is money.
Still
I hear you.
Look, I'm
money.
Maybe I'm recouping on the Focusrite that I bought. Maybe that 200 might catch me at the right time. Like the money adds up, and it's 1,000 streams per song per year. I have a bunch of songs that hit more than 1,000 streams last year that might not do it this year.
Right.
And even if they hit 800, 900, and it could be a piece that adds to a bigger pie for me. Because on my DistroKid, there's 2 artists, and there's maybe 40 songs that are pieces of your songs, pieces of his songs, pieces of all these other songs.
Right.
I can tell you there's songs that me and him did 3 years ago that are sitting at thousands of streams that may not hit that 1,000 threshold this year. And it's like, oh, but if I'm this close to it, I won't get my payout.
If us as artists aren't getting, if you cross the 1,000 stream threshold and we're not getting extra, as far as if that rate isn't going up, I have a really big issue with that.
Who's to say my art is not worth what I earn? If I'm working at Target and there's a threshold of 10 hours, so I've worked 9 hours and I'm not gonna get what I've earned for my 9 hours.
Oh, I wouldn't. Well,
it's art, bro. If I can't, it's not. It's like, bro, it's art, man. I can't work. I'm not gonna go work for 10 hours and be like, nah, you ain't hit the part-time minimum, so you're not going to get that.
Well, I'm
not going to take a bunch of classes. Oh, you ain't hit the 3 class minimum, you're not going to get the credits.
Here's the thing though about that, why I think that comparison is a little iffy, because if you're working at a job, you're at that job to add to a benefit of a corporation, as opposed to if you're doing music, it's more of a selfless kind of thing. It's for you. You're not beholden to a boss. So it's different. You're not working for someone. You're working for yourself, right? You're your own business. So with that being said, once again, this is why I already seeing the writing on the wall personally, and why I've just opted in to the subscription service. I know a lot of newer artists are like, well, I'm not ready. Well, when? And what I feel as far as seeing artists, for instance, even Curtis King, just seeing him just opt into like that paywall kind of system and stuff and making a couple $1,000s from his album, that's more than he would have made in his album in the year. For me personally, I'm not saying I see the future, but I've been feeling the writing on the wall for a very long time. That's the best way I can say. I've been feeling the writing on the wall for a long time because I've been seeing my checks for years get smaller and smaller. And so I've decided to take back my independence and go the paywall route with my fans, because I feel like you're taking so much value from just vanity metrics, meaning 1 million streams. To me, that means nothing to me now, because I say to myself, yeah, but I can't pay my bills. So I say, I'll take the 2,000 fans that buy the album for $10 and get the 20K. Yeah. There's so much more power for me personally in 2,000 core fans than 1 million fleeting streams that only give me but so much money. 1 million streams, I'll get like maybe $4,000.
Yeah.
I prefer the platform. I like what Even's doing a lot, and I was like really on the fence, and I was looking at it. I prefer that business model over anything because it's the only business model that brings the full value back into the music.
True.
I understand the subscription service model. I feel like that's cool, but I also feel like it's not bringing the value to the music or the ownership into the music. It's bringing the value to the platform. In the sense of the more music you put, the streaming, the monthly prices. If the monthly price stays $10, and I have one song on there, that means the one song is worth $10. But the more I put, the more the value of each song not diminishes in a sense, but there's no ownership in it, and B, because once they stop subscribing, they don't own the record, and B, there's less value per record. I like the idea of me buying this piece of artwork for this set amount of price and owning it rather than me subscribing to a gallery to be able to look at each piece of artwork whenever I feel.
I think you're very wrong, and let me tell you why. One, for instance, the way I have mine set up is there's a monthly subscription service, right? So you subscribe to me for me, right? Yeah. You also get music. You're selling, and this is what a lot of art, I feel like artists just don't realize what they're doing. And we talked about this with the AI thing. People like you as an artist, not only for your music, but for who you are, for your brand. And sometimes, a lot of times, I come from the generation of when an artist had the ability to make me feel special as a fan, there wasn't a dollar you could put on that, right? Where it came to the signing of the CD, seeing them in person, having exclusive access to shows and stuff like that. Not only are they getting all of this value, sure, it's $10 a month, but that is a person that's going to be their lifetime. Now, also with the argument of, and I've thought about this extensively, with saying, okay, well, it's diminishing the value of each song because now they have access to all these songs. Guess what? Even behind my paywall, I can say, hey, this album, if you want it, you could pay what you want. You could pay $5, but you still get $10 a month also for the exclusive access to me as a fan, and say, no, I want to support your career. What I try to tell these artists sometimes is, hey, I know a lot of you want to be cool and appear that way, but also allow your fanship to invest into you. It's okay, and they want to do it. There's nothing wrong with taking the people that are really big fans and saying, I want to separate those really big fans from the people that are just here passing and that really don't support me. Because when I see someone in my DM saying that they get all this value, my full-time members are in my close friends. It's these little things that is what makes a true artist, bro. People love Beyonce not only for her music, but the brand of Beyonce. We love Jay-Z for not only his music, but the brand of Jay-Z. If Jay-Z said, yo, I got a close friends, exclusive access to all my shows, and I'll give you some behind the scenes kind of stuff for me, $5 a month.
I hear you, and you make great points, and you make great points, and you even refuted a few of my points. At that same time, I feel like we're arguing from two different perspectives.
For sure.
Because I'm speaking of the product being the music, and you're speaking of the product being you. To be clear.
I'm speaking of both.
To be clear.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
To be clear, I'm not saying this idea of a subscription model is the wrong idea or it's a bad thing. I think it's very, very smart. I think it's very lucrative for an artist.
It can be.
At the same time, there are artists that I love their music. I love their songs. I don't care for them.
For their
if that
brand.
Makes sense. So a subscription, we're talking about two different things. The product I'm speaking of, and I feel like it's more of an investment into the actual music.
It's the same.
Versus
it's both. I can do everything.
Come with the music.
I can do see like this. What you can do on Even with the platform I'm using something called Grouped. I can do exactly the same thing with Even with the added benefit of a monthly subscription service.
But that's what I'm saying. We're not talking about both, because what you're talking about is a hybrid. Group is hybrid. It has both options.
Yes.
I'm speaking of strictly the idea of a subscription service versus the idea of buying the piece.
Oh, well,
what you have is both. So I'm not arguing you.
Got you. Yeah.
I'm not arguing your thing. I'm arguing
the
two different ideas. Right. So I feel like that's where we're losing it. But
Okay.
I feel like I'm arguing the actual buying the product, and you're arguing buying into the person. I think both
company.
An artist can benefit from both.
I feel like I do both.
And I understand that. I'm not talking about you. This is not about Devvon Terrell. I know,
but you said I'm talking about just buying into the person.
Yeah, because when your response was from the perspective of I use a platform that I use both. Because you even said, hey, they can subscribe into me and people talk about the $10 whatever, but there's an option where they can buy the album if they want to.
Right, for whatever price.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the strict.
That's right, but that's not my ecosystem.
That's why I wasn't talking about your ecosystem.
I know, you keep referring to me though
because your entire argument was about you.
No. You were saying that the subscription service and that subscription model, you were kind of, I don't want to say against, but you're kind of like pushing that away.
No, I said I didn't like it as much as I liked the idea of. I like the idea of human beings buying their music. Like if we had to go to a perfect world where we can, you know what I mean, music is all we do. I like the idea from not just me being an artist, but me also being a producer, writer, and all of that. I like the idea. If we had to go back to Utopia, I think Utopia is where people love love an artist. People are excited for an album, and I'm going to wait till midnight to buy the bad album from Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I mean.
Gotcha.
I like the idea more of people, and I know we're way far gone from that. We're so far gone from that. Drake. I think I don't think we'll ever be back in a world where it's like the 80s or the 90s where people are waiting in line or waiting till midnight to buy an album, especially with all the different, not at the largest scale possible, like not the scale that it was before. However, I was saying I like that idea of that more than subscription. Not saying I don't like the subscription idea. I might fuck around and do it.
No, you should.
But I'm saying
you should.
I really, really prefer that. But the fact that you use something that's hybrid is the best of both worlds.
Because you leave it open to people saying, hey, if you want to. You know? What I say is this. If you as an artist do not put the value on yourself, then you will never have it, right?
True.
So for me, I say to myself, okay, if I'm an artist and say, listen, I just want y'all to listen to my music. Good luck for that lasting long as far as your longevity as an artist. Because I can tell you right now, the only reason why I still have fanship and why I was able to not put out music for a while and get over myself and my feelings is because I created a brand that people were a part of. They had merch. They felt connected to. So all I'm saying is from an artist, from someone that is experienced as an independent artist with longevity, that people that was in the same time as me, what outlasts is that person, man. Them building a relationship with you. And they can build it through the relationship. Even some of your favorite people that you've worked with, they don't say much, but that branding and how they connect with their fans is very, very powerful, and it's important. So what I'm saying is the subscription.
We're just talking about.
No, it's fine. I'm agreeing with you now. We over that. Well, what I'm saying is that connection that you make with your fans is truly where the longevity in what you call it stands. Like T-Pain with his residency.
I think personally though, just real quick, what Levens was trying to speak to, because I think y'all both same
touching on similar,
talking about the same thing,
shit,
but from different perspectives. Yeah. I think what it is, the disparity with that subscription model is on both ends, you want to be able to get, like, when you're purchasing this product, regardless of, like Levin said, whether you're a big fan or you just like the product this artist gave you this year, you want to be able to buy it and know that what you're putting in, regardless of how serious of a fan you are, is going to go back to them in as big as a way as possible to help them get to the next product that you may or may not buy. With a subscription model, I'm kind of beholden. It's like, okay, I like you, so I'm going to make this investment to get everything from you. I'm in there for a long haul. Versus me being able to just say, I like this album that you dropped this year. I want to support that. And hopefully this all goes to you making the next project.
Question.
Good point. Really good point.
Question. Bleep that out. Yeah.
He said, ew.
What that gross. Look what you noticing.
I'm kidding.
Come on, bro.
Got gas.
Quick question. And
Good, great conversation.
Out of curiosity, and y'all could do this in the comments too.
I'm here.
Would you rather all of your fans pay you $3.99 a month, right? Or all of your fans, every time you put out a single or an album, pay you $12.99 every time? Be honest.
Every time I put out a single, they give me $12
a month.
Well, that's
every
unrealistic.
single or album. So single they'll give you $2, and album they give you $12.99. Would you rather they always buy?
They gave me. Would I rather them always buy it or subscribe, or rather them subscribe?
Always, yeah.
I would rather. I come from the place of just buying, but I just know how unrealistic that is.
No, just
today.
But just
perfect world, bro.
Yeah, no.
In general, would you rather? Which one would you rather?
I would buying it would give me more profit.
So buying is your answer.
Will give me more profit.
Buying is your answer. Just say buying is your answer.
Yes, but I want to be very clear.
Understand.
What you're saying is very unrealistic. That I'm gonna get someone to buy
of
all $3 for a single and $12.99 for an album that I drop once a year. I just want to
tell you what else is
but
unrealistic?
I want you to be, because I'm not gonna let you do that and put a metric on it. That's
let's do the
that's a goalpost move. It's like it's not
But
realistic.
Can I give you something else that's unrealistic?
What?
A nigga in Ableton getting a #1 record and a Grammy, man.
What?
I just wanted to shoot from half. I don't know. Yo, this has been my Audio Nerds podcast.
Who got the Grammy?
I was just talking about Ableton. I just don't like Ableton.
He just was shooting. But
you know what's unrealistic? We're using Ableton.
You're gonna use Pro Tools, which I'm excited.
I'm gonna try. A Grammy-winning record was produced in Ableton.
What I don't know what the world. I'll end on this. I don't know what the world has in store for us when it comes to the music industry and the audio and stuff like that.
I just saw Leave the World Behind. I don't know what the world has in store for us.
That part too. AI is on its way. But what I will say is, whatever you believe, whatever you think, this industry is heading and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I just know in the back of my mind there's going to be people that are going to hate things that's going to come, and some people are going to benefit it from it. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to fight to try and stay on the side that that supports my family and allows me the space to keep making music. I'm gonna be very honest with you, and I'm gonna look at this after this is done. If the people that get over 1,000 streams aren't making more on the streams, that is going to be very disheartening, and I do have an issue with that.
Can I say something?
That would be crazy. That's going to be nuts.
The music industry is the only place where we can have this convo.
Worst business model on earth.
I say that because even your stance, and I'm not killing you for your stance.
I don't have a stance though.
No, your stance of if it's bringing more to the bigger pot and the people that are really driving, and
then it does. It does
help.
Honestly, it benefits me, but I'm not saying I can't wait for this to come.
But there are people
because I'm not making much anyway.
There are people that believe that, like,
still not enough.
If it helps me, I'm a big dog, and it works out.
No, it's still not enough. It's still nowhere near.
Let's not forget that 2 acting unions or 2 unions in the film industry literally fought.
Thank you.
Because not only the big dogs weren't eating, but the small people.
The little dogs weren't eating.
The reason why the union is because
to make sure
that the small dogs are also eating.
Yes, right.
And this is the only industry
that
where
don't got one.
No, not that don't got one, but that look at them.
We don't
small dogs and be like,
we don't.
But there's the other industries that don't have one.
Yeah, but we the music industry, man.
We should have had very weird. Yeah, I feel you.
But you know why we don't have one?
Because there's no unity. We can't agree.
I don't even think that's it.
Can I tell you why? Who should be on fucking unions? And I said this already.
Oh,
BMI and
ASCAP. For sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But you know why we truly don't have a union?
Why?
Because we are the one industry that the actual person that created the product never owns the product.
Well, no. That's film, too.
We don't but people be getting percentages of their actual of the movies.
People get percentages of their songs. It's the same shit. Like people don't. A lot of directors, a lot of writers do not own their shows.
For sure. But what I say to you is this: when it comes to me as a music person, realize an artist is a business. I created an intellectual product. It's called Trap Life 4. Right? I created this product. What happens is a label comes in. Think about this from a business standpoint. A label comes in, buys the album, that intellectual property, owns it completely, and gives you $1 million and you're in the hole. What business, think about how much sense that makes from a business standpoint in other businesses. That's why I say music industry is very different.
It's terrible business-wise, but at the same time, this is not unique to the business is unique to us.
It's very unique.
The tactics are not.
There was somebody that went into a boardroom and said, let's make a game called Grand Theft Auto. And it's my idea. And that person, we may never know who that one person is. Who knows? People might know.
Okay.
In the gaming industry, I feel like in every industry, people are getting cheated. Like, we're not the only ones. It's happening so oblivious. It's so obvious to us. It's insane.
I've always
like the film industry. People are losing their shows and movies. They get like the fact that my show can get canceled, and in order for me to bring it somewhere else, it has to be bought out, and this has to be sold, and this has to be sold, and this has to be sold. You know how many shows we're doing? Like, imagine if Euphoria got canceled today, and Netflix is like, "Are you guys coked? Let me cop it." They got to go through hoops and shit.
So
you know what I mean? Like that's the where the best way is. All right, let's get the right like Power. Shorty made Power.
Okay.
Forget her name.
Oh.
She's a goat.
Oh, she's a
I
goat.
love her to death. She created one of the.
Okay, I know you're talking about.
But she instead of being able to, I don't know what happened with Power, but I know she upped and left. But Power's still on Stars.
Yeah,
but she's at Netflix now.
She doesn't own that outright.
She does not own that outright, even though she's eating off of it.
Here's what I look at the music industry and the film industry slightly different. We can walk down this block of a house, of all these houses, and I bet you there's more people that do music than that do shoot films. Yeah. Okay? So the chance of all of us in here recording one song that changes our lives, that a company is that a label will come in and buy, is very significant as opposed to
a film.
All four of us in here producing film.
Guess what though?
Okay.
And I'll bring this argument to you. Unionize.
They unionized, right? So you're saying that they
music?
What about us?
We need to unionize.
But the only issue is, I feel like I just never see it is because we just don't own it. See, like this. In order for us to be a union, right? We need to have power. Our power would be, we're not making no more music. That would be our move, right? But the thing is,
it's not gonna
all the
happen.
major artists have obligations and contracts, and they don't own the intellectual property. So the label can go, well, we're still just going to make money off of everything you've done, and we have these songs. We can put this out. A lot of people are I just feel like when it comes to us, our power is just not in the right place.
We have, and
I would love a union.
It's a union. I don't think a union is the answer either.
What you think it is then?
The film industry doesn't have a union. There's
we got a few.
SAG. There's the actors union.
The Directors Guild.
There's the
for sure.
There's for the directors.
Sure.
There's the people behind the scenes, the writers, the actors.
Right.
We have a songwriters and producers union right now. Like we literally, let's not forget, you sign contracts with BMI.
Yes.
You sign a contract with ASCAP.
Yes.
It's literally in place. CSAC, SOCAN.
Yeah. Oh, you in the
maybe artistry, maybe artists.
I didn't know that.
It's gonna be harder for artists.
Unions.
So what would be the move?
You know what would be dope?
What would be the move?
All right, I think for writers, we have a union in place, and all we need is for BMI and ASCAP to grow bigger balls and like literally demand things, because we've had them demand things before.
They have.
Do you not understand that part of the Spotify stream does not belong to you?
That's true.
It goes to them.
It's a mechanical.
Exactly.
It goes to.
They have fought for things. Let's just fight for more. I'm not gonna say the Recording Academy, but let's say what you call it, Universal, Warner, Sony.
Okay.
How about y'all? I'm not gonna say y'all create a union, but
they won't.
There can be a union.
It's against. It would be against. I thought about this. That's against their. It would be against them.
I mean,
it would not be in their benefit.
It wouldn't be to their benefit.
No,
but
it wouldn't be to their benefit.
It's still possible. Maybe not that.
They don't want that.
I know they don't want it, but
it's not.
Starbucks didn't want it either. The NBA. You think the NBA won't care?
Amazon.
But you think
no?
Do you think the NBA likes the NBA Players Association?
I'm not here to comment on that.
To be fair, and with leaving such a good point, because how you definitely just said like it would be against them, but like you said months ago on restructuring the streaming model, someone's gonna have to for something to be shifted. Someone big is going to have to take a big loss.
True. On
camera, it's gonna have to happen.
We saw David Stern. You realize them NBA players said we're not playing in 2011.
See, that's where the power.
And guess what? Chris Paul paid for that, because Chris Paul could have been with Kobe, but they made Chris Paul. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get y'all back." Nah, I pulled that out of thin air. But I'm saying,
no. That was a good. Like, that was actually a great, because what I'm trying to say to you and compliment you with is saying, yo, that's where the power resides. Is saying, if we stop playing ball,
if the entertainers leave, there's no entertainment.
The major labels, y'all will lose money. But I don't see that as the case for us.
It's possible. It's just. It literally is so I'm seeing like the BMAC, Black Music Association Coalition, something like that. Black Music Alliance Coalition or something like that. Like they put together these events. It's literally, and they preach this union thing, and they could be a union. We could all say, yo, we're gonna join BMAC and we're gonna stand together. If we got Drake with us, if we got Beyonce with us, and it's like, all right, I'm not going on tour until Live Nation fix their shit.
So here's the thing. I feel like you would need the big artists to then say none of us are putting out an album.
But guess what? You know who else signs deals? You know who else signs deals?
Who?
Writers. If I'm on the set of Power, I'm supposed to write this season.
Oh, well,
but once that union hit,
Yeah.
they left. They didn't. The truck drivers, they have agreements.
What is that to music though? The actual songwriters not writing songs anymore?
Yes. Fuck the sync camps.
And that would go through ASCAP, BMI.
What if my publisher? What if we stop submitting to our publishers? You know what I mean? What if we? If there's something written into the 360 deal changed, you know what I mean? The standard deal that was given to us changed. What if there was something in our contracts that say we have to approve every sync spot that our publisher sends out?
Well, that is true.
Exactly. So
that's how it works in mine.
For you. So what if you approved to your people, you're not using it for All American. No, forget that. Not until the strike is over. Shit like that. Like,
we would have to
possible. It's not as
get
impossible
onto the
as
same
you think.
It's not impossible.
The engineers could start one right now. It'd be so easy.
It would have to be,
We're not showing up to any sessions.
It would have to be a group movement for sure, but it has to be done.
The engineers could do that overnight.
For sure. For sure. I agree with that.
You know what I think? Oh,
it's possible.
It is possible, but I think we gotta start. I think the way we start is with very small unions and niches.
Yeah.
Engineers, obviously songwriters is a big one. That engineers one would cripple.
And
what if video directors
and separate and put into two like SAG-AFTRA, mixing engineers union, mastering engineers union. It's one engineers union.
I would do engineers union.
You can't do just one.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Why would you do just one?
Because we're all interconnected. The same people that's calling the mixing engineer is calling the mastering engineer.
The
whole record's assembly line of production stops if you put the mixing engineers and if you put recording, mixing, and mastering engineers in one little thing.
This is gonna sound crazy to say. It's gonna sound very triggering to say. There's not a big enough difference in the job to separate them.
It's the same. We're all working on the quality of the music sound.
I don't know. That's.
It's like
as a film person,
you would mess it up.
That's weird to say.
If you separate the recording, mixing, and mastering engineer within that union, I think you're gonna mess up the power.
You're gonna
mess up the power. Because what if the mixing engineers?
Listen to me. But I'm trying to ask you a question so you can like explain it better.
What?
So then, why in that case, when it comes to SAG-AFTRA, for example, you have Producers Guild. And then you have Directors Guild.
I'll tell him. Let me tell him.
That's actually a great point.
Let me tell him. Let me literally put it. Let me put it. No, I gotta say this, bro.
Okay,
Look, the Writers Guild is the creation of the film.
For sure.
The Directors Guild is
the producer kind of like I get it done. I'm gonna take your vision.
The Actors Guild is the presentation.
Right.
Those are three different stages of the creation of the movie, which is in our world the song.
Okay.
The writers correlates to the writers and producers because we're in the background creating.
Cool, that's fine. I give you that.
What the singer,
would
be the actor.
Right.
Yes, and then the editors and all of that would end up being in the engineers. And there's what different thing would the mastering engineers be looking for than the mix engineer? It doesn't make sense. Like they're at the same part of the assembly line. They're the packaging of it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. But I get what you're trying to say.
So I do want to give some
though.
credence to what you're saying as far as the producer and the director having two separate unions. That's funny to me. What I will say is a director can produce.
Not necessarily.
Cat.
It's not true.
Cat.
It's not
because guess what? A lot of those directors probably came from producing. What do you mean?
For sure. No. But that's a skill you learn along the way that you can.
Right.
But just like for example,
same with mastering engineers.
Hold on.
A mastering engineer can mix, but that's a skill that they have to learn.
That's what I was about to get to. So like for example, right? When it comes to a mixing engineer, I would say at your core, you gotta know what tells are in terms of the record itself.
Okay. You got to know the process of that guy and that guy.
In this genre, how should this what should this sound like?
Okay.
For you to make you have to mix it that way, but for you to be like, I know what this should be, I'm going in this direction.
Okay.
For a mastering engineer, your tells are dynamics. You have to understand dynamics different, right?
The difference
same thing with a director and a producer.
These are such a similar.
Courtney,
Bro,
the difference in the job does not change the difference in the business, because the fact of the matter is the union is there for the business, not for what the union does not control what you write movies about. The union controls how you get paid for
and
those
how
movies.
it's structured.
And the fact of the matter is, a lot of engineers right now do not get points. They all work the same way. The business of depth, I'm sure, is not too far off from the business of mixed by Ali.
Right.
You know what I mean?
As far as a mix engineer and a mastering engineer's stake in things.
Because it's not about the job you're doing. It's about what part
of the process that it is. And guess what? Mixing, recording, and mastering is just the technical process.
Same thing with production and writing. I think the production and writing should be one
to me
in itself too. Because it comes at the same.
But that makes sense.
No, because a lot of writers can't produce, and a lot of producers don't write.
And they have no intention on it.
And it's the
Can
difference.
I be honest?
A lot of writers don't use a DAW. A lot of producers don't pick up a pen in a studio.
But a mastering engineer, mixing engineer probably use the same program. And a recording, they all use the same program.
That's understandable.
So you understand? Okay, I don't think what you're saying is wrong. Absolutely not. At the end of the day, and just a wrap, because this episode got on way longer than I thought.
This is a good one.
Very good one though. I appreciate, and I would love to see a union. I've always just been a realist, and I always say, okay, give me the solution. I don't want to argue, continue to argue about, this is not fair. I just want to figure it out. Let's figure it out, right?
You realize
that engineer thing, you got me with that. I ain't gonna lie.
The union, I realize a union in every sector of the music industry would solve a lot of problems that we have.
A ton.
Look, the artists, let's say all three unions are fighting for their piece of the royalty rate that Spotify sends out. Let's say engineers can finally say, you know what? We would like 1% of each record.
We're entitled to it.
We're entitled, or we're not showing up to the studio.
But
you guys could go find an indie because guess what? Our whole argument was always, they're just gonna find somebody else to go do it.
Yeah,
but
that
guess
was the
what?
thing. I'm good.
Netflix could have went to go find some non-union actors, and they
I'm
didn't.
good at my job.
The fact of the matter is, I don't think a lot of labels want to go look for somebody other than Jason
another
Joshua.
TCO or
I
think. The modern
engineers can finally get their piece of the record.
Right.
Writers can finally get their piece of the record. We can all finally tell Spotify, hey, let's renegotiate something. Because if you're going to give us this low, let's actually figure out where it's coming from and what is a stream really worth? Because you're only telling us what piece we're getting. And that's the 0.3 cent. What about the piece that the label's getting? What about the piece that you're getting off of it and the value of one stream to your business model?
Let me just ask you this final question. If a big solution to really getting that union and really getting us to be organized and stuff like that has to chop off the bottom feeders that don't get 1,000 streams, would you be down for the bottom feeders to basically have that sacrifice so that we can have the union, the better streaming rates and all that stuff? This is a great freaking question.
I don't know.
Would you?
It's not necessarily because also again
sacrifice?
That's also why I'm kind of now when it comes to the regular of that whole situation, just with them resetting this price and establishing that whole thing.
Yeah.
Why I'm personally, especially me being a bottom feeding artist, why I'm not mad.
I don't like that word. I'm sorry for using that word. I don't mean it
bottom
that way.
Feeding, but you're on the bottom. You're on the.
I don't mean it to diminish.
You're close to the bottom of the rungs, the bottom rungs of the ladder.
Right.
Why I'm not really too worried about that is because it creates an environment of you have to improve. If quality goes up, if you and there's different ways.
I don't agree.
You can attack the brand harder.
All I'm gonna say is this, Levins. All I'm gonna say is this.
I'm not mad at it.
The kid right now that's putting up a song every single week and getting 0 streams, that in another 2 years he's not gonna be putting out music, is taking something a little something from you, is something to think about.
It's something to think about.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't agree with Court's I guess answer because you're equating numbers to quality, and that's never been the case.
But it's not even just okay. So then let me rephrase. Let me rephrase.
Can I elaborate on what you're saying?
Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
Finish.
But my answer is I won't know until I figure out how. And we're doing a lot of comparisons to film, but I want to know how they determine who can be a part of SAG and who can be a part of the Writers Guild, because I know a lot of actors.
I think.
I know a lot.
There's more to it. Sorry.
I know a lot of actors that haven't gotten a gig or have never gotten a gig that are part of SAG.
Yeah.
That are part
they
of it.
the equivalent of the bottom feeders in the music industry?
They have a union though. So
No, that's
you know what I mean. What I'm saying, you're saying in order to create the union, if we have to leave off the people who get less than 1,000 streams. I know a lot of actors that get less than one film a year, and are they considered? You know what I mean? That's what I was getting to. I would have to know, well, how hard would it be?
I'm not saying chop them out of the union, but what I'm saying is, what if they are not making that money from their 1,000 streams? But because they're making the sacrifice, it's kind of like they're giving they're giving power to the industry from an artist standpoint, because they're not taking that money, and that money is going towards the union, which won't happen.
That's something.
I'm talking about behind.
No, but I like. Unfortunately, because guess what? We can talk about out of our behind all we want. Right. Let's not act like some of our holy shit, this happened. Like, you're lying. This just happened. Like, we've had things where we were like, "Oh, this is never gonna happen." Happen in real life.
Oh no! So it's just I'm rooting for that. I'm talking about something else in that regard.
But
I'm not talking about that.
But that comes down to negotiation. You have to be like, the union will argue that. Hey,
yes,
let's argue with DistroKid, or let's argue directly with Spotify, and let's renegotiate. How about, instead of 1,000 streams, let's make it 100 streams. Instead of that, let's say between 100 streams and 1,000 streams, you'll get 0.7 of a cent instead of 0.3. And then once you hit this threshold, then you'll get a slight up or something like that.
So what I'm also being very aware of is, where's the money, right? Like, where's that money come from? So if
you have to have money to run a business, and Spotify needs to figure out how to become profitable. That's not our problem.
It's not our problem, because at the end of the day, it's their platform, right? Yeah. Like, and we choose to put our music on it. Unfortunately,
but it's a tool. It's
like I had an analogy somebody told me a while ago, and I thought it was amazing. The telephone, right? A telephone being in the yellow pages. You're not going to ban me from having a telephone number, right?
No.
Back in the day, that was the only way to have a business. If you had a business, you needed to be in that yellow pages so people can say, I need a plumber. And you look through the book and you go. That was a utility, meaning that no one person, if I'm not mistaken, could ban me from from having a telephone number with my business in the yellow pages and stuff, because then that wasn't fair, right? It was a utility. We live in an era where we kind of don't realize how powerful social media is, and how if you're not on social media, you don't exist, right? And it's basically, it is a utility. It's the only way for me to get my music out there. Like, how else am I going to do it? Am I going to go in the street and run up and down? I'm not going to win that way, right? Going up and down the street, trying to sell people my CD. I'm not going to win. The only way, or one of the very few ways that I'm going to do it, is through social media. To me, social media is a utility. Unfortunately, it's a not privately owned company, but you know what I mean? It's run by capitalism. And someone could literally say, fire it and burn me, right? Yeah. Say, you're not on this platform. I am done. I don't eat. I look at the Spotify's, Apple Music. If Spotify decided to say, hey man, you're done, I'm screwed, right? In that regard. And so that made me so fearful. And that's exactly why I said, I don't like that feeling of, yo, I'm beholden to like the powers that be. I'm truly, like, I truly don't. And that's, and also I heard about things about me that scared me. And that's what changed my perception about people up there that said, I don't like that guy. Stop letting his stuff go.
That's a union thing. Because two things. One, the thing about the union is, let's bring it to sports. Every major sports league has
on whatever it is.
A union, right? Even though this did not happen in real life, let's not act like when Colin Kaepernick's situation came up, there was a possibility that the NFL union could have backed him and said, we're not playing a game until we figure out what's going on here. It didn't happen like that, but it could have.
So you can say it out loud. The problem was a lot of those players wasn't getting the money. So they didn't join in on it, you saying?
Take those big quarterbacks. They got the guaranteed money. They're going to take a knee now. There was a lot.
Yeah, so it's long story short, it's not even about the knee, just the fact that it felt like he had gotten exiled the same way you're saying if Spotify like clipped you from we could say, hey, let's figure this the hell out. Like, you know what I mean? And that's all I'm saying. Like that's the power of a union. A union could say, if this person's being mistreated, then we're gonna figure this out. Let's say for some let's say the Actors Guild came against the Oscars and said, you guys banned Will Smith. We didn't think he deserved that.
And none of us are going.
We're not going to show up. That's power of a union, and that's the biggest point of a union is to make sure all of us is getting treated.
Right.
The second thing is, let's not forget, there's a lot to be negotiated. Not just with streaming. There's record labels. I want to know, Snapchat has all of my music. And how do I get compensated from that?
I hear you.
It's a feature, and this is $1 billion company. There's a piece, because guess what? My music being a part of somebody's story is enhancing the
quality of the app,
the quality of Instagram, the usability. Like it's making it a better. You know
experience.
what I mean? There's a lot to negotiate.
We getting a little money. We getting some money from Meta.
What about the game industry? Like, what if we
get some money? But
what
it
if we?
is pennies on the dollar.
Exactly. There's a lot more to negotiate than Spotify. Spotify is just the biggest example of where we're getting a bulk of our money and is being done wrong.
So I'll just end on this note. It's a great conversation.
It's a great conversation.
There is the the Music Modernization Act that was passed. There's a lot of things.
They broke that though.
They broke that?
They broke it. Spotify did not go through with their. They held so much money from the writers that we're still suing to get back.
So that's why I just wanted to bring it up, because I want you to know that I am aware of that act. I have it, and I remember that within that act, if I'm not mistaken, I remember Parks. I don't want to say his name, but I feel like we were all engineers were finally going to be able to like get a piece of the records and stuff like that. That was in the deal. Ironically, I'm thinking about it because I'm like, well, where did that go? Is that did that happen? I know that there's some engineers out there that do get points on a record, but once again, when I've spoken to some engineers, they tell me only some people is getting that. Like not everybody's getting that. But I don't know. But let's wrap this up before this becomes
just to elaborate on what I was saying. Long story short, Spotify, although it was ruled back then that they were supposed to fulfill a promise and release a payout, they withheld a lot of money that was set aside for the publishers, which actually was something that I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, BMI was a part of, where they sued to make the mechanical royalties a part.
I was there for that, and that was a big moment for me. I got a nice check. Absolutely.
Exact. So it's just like, this is not as impossible as we think. I think the reason why we think it's impossible is because we think it's all one union.
I don't think it's impossible.
A lot of people think it's just hard.
It's very. I just think that you just open my mind to say, I think it has to happen in sectors first, where it has to happen with engineers unionize, this unionize, and maybe with those other little unions, now we can prop up a bigger union. Because realizing we make a union, we got to put some money in.
Everything's possible. Man, I just watched Mick Spiley for the last year sit on that board and preach for something he believed in, and guess what? That got passed.
That's a fact.
Shout out to them. So I think it's possible.
Yeah, I think it is.
But this has been the My Audio Nerds podcast, presented by your boy Devvon Terrell, Courtney Taylor, LJ, because we never say our names at the end. But if you really would like the Rosetta compressor or EQ, please leave your @name in the comments and leave a dope comment. We gonna read Instagram leave a dope comment. We be reading sometimes.
Not me.
I know. I be reading sometimes, I guess.
Levis is definitely our comments correspondent.
Because I be bringing, I stopped bringing negative comments to the group chat.
Yeah, just not negative ones. Like I just don't read the
because it's not worth it.
Because people be hating.
Thank you guys for all the support, by the way. Too. This pod has been growing heavily, and we're really big. Real fast. We're really excited about that. So I have a YouTube channel. LG is my YouTube channel. It'll be in the description. I just put out some dope videos, and I also let y'all know which audio interface I chose. So check that out. And and my new pack, LJ's Archive Volume 1, is out. I'm sorry, not LJ's Archive. Sorry to bother you. Volume 1 is out right now on my website, ljsarchive.com. Go check it out. Till next time, peace.